Hikebytes is going to bring you a slash of a hike, and you're going to love it. Special adventure, and show you every step of the way, every piece of equipment you'll need, experiential knowledge, how to get to this beautiful waterfall and beyond. Relax, take a seat, and let us take you for a ride. Here you goes the fun part.
Good morning and welcome to Hikebytes. We have our friend Brian here with us, and we're going for an awesome hike. Join us.
Yeah. So you're just gonna follow the creek all the way there, and I'll give you a panoramic before we get to the water.
So as we're hiking along the trail here, you're gonna notice that we're gonna make several creek crossings because there really isn't much of a trail, and you're kind of just making it up as you go along. As long as you follow the creek, you're gonna be just fine. We wanted to show you this spot because the gravel's very loose here, and I kind of need a little help from Sean to help me get down because it was a little slippy.
So we're at the part of the creek where you're going to enter, and you're pretty much going to be in the creek all the way there. But it's quite beautiful. And the water is, what temp do you think, Heidi? She said about 65. I agree. Feels so nice. Normally, this kind of water is like in the 50s. So we're definitely going to be swimming big time. All right, see you in the falls. When this hike is over, you're going to want dry socks and shoes. Trust me on that one. So Heidi and Brian are coming up towards the fall, and the canyons are gorgeous through here. So let me take you around. This place makes you feel like a true explorer. It's just all canyon and creek, and the views are beautiful. Look what we get to play in, guys. We're gonna blow up our rafts. We got a surfboard and a donut. We're gonna go play in that. See you in the pools. So how deep is it, Heidi? You want to go deeper? Let's see how deep. No? You don't want to be the tester? I'm wondering if we can boulder jump here. I'm going to go test the water. I think it was too shallow to boulder jump here, but the festivities had only just begun. Look at this place, guys. Is this amazing? Oh man, so amazing. After this refreshing swim, we decided to pull out the surfboard. I can't believe Heidi's gonna do this. All right, babe, stay on the right. You'll be good to go. Here she goes. Here you goes the fun part. Yeah, there she goes. You did it. You did the best.
Well, that was so much fun, but we decided we just couldn't wait to see what was at the end of the canyon. We always find the most interesting wildflowers along the trails.
When you come to this natural pool, there's actually a path on the right. Here's Heidi coming up, and once she gets on the other side, you're back into the beautiful canyon. This part I'll call the narrows of this canyon, and the views are epic. It's all for the game. Oh, it's not very deep at all. No. It's about up to my lower waist. Okay, here is the deepest part. Whoa. Okay, so it's about 4 feet deep on the left. I recommend coming on the left and help your buddy get up over the rocks. All right, you guys are gonna be true hikers here. Frogs? Nice. So the best thing we think to do in this situation, have someone come through without a backpack and be on the rocks to receive the backpack so the stuff doesn't get wet. It's slippery, my friend. Come over this way if you can. There you go. Ah, got it. I will tell you, that part's a little sketchy.
I think this part of the canyon was my favorite, and as you continued forward towards this beautiful fall, it got even narrower, and at the very end, it feels like it's only 3 to 5 feet between the canyon walls. This is probably one of the most unique experiences I've had in a while. We discovered we were not alone in this canyon, and we'll discuss more later on what we're talking about, but you should be aware. I've always been a fan of canyons and narrows, especially when you're in the water and you stay cool. This is an incredible hike. What's so fun about this hike is you make your own trail. It was so interesting. There was never a dull moment.
I really liked this part of the Narrows. There was a lot of river reeds, and it just gave that feeling that you were kind of in like the Nile River.
Yeah, that looks like a good spot.
We heard this canyon was about a mile in, but I would say closer to 2 miles. And if it isn't 2 miles, the terrain is very tiring on the feet and your stamina. If there's one thing I've learned about narrows, it's always leading to something spectacular. This part of the hike was so interesting to me, and it got smaller and closer together, and the canyon walls just hovered over you.
Pretty intense to this part. We're coming down to the last stretch. The waterfall is going to be around the corner.
Wait till you see this.
As we gazed upon the wonder of what we discovered, we realized it would be a little technical to get to the main fall. I brought rope with me, and I almost always do because you can help a partner out, or it's just nice to have it for a critical passage or maybe even an emergency. This is the part that was really hard for Heidi, and I was so glad I brought the rope, and it gave me more leverage to pull her up and secure her. I really recommend it for any hiker who has trouble climbing or just would like that extra security. Once we all made it up, I took one look back at the beautiful pool and then turned my gaze towards that upper fall. Could not wait to go see it. Even though you're up, it's a little technical along these rocks where it is slippery, so be careful here and you'll have a lot of fun in this pool. It's about 5 to 6 foot deep near the fall. This is one of the reasons I married Heidi, graceful as a butterfly. Well, maybe not this time. This gorgeous beach in front of the fall was so perfect for picnicking, relaxing, or just laying out. I went ahead and dove under the fall here in depth, checked it, it's about 5 to 6 feet because I had planned on climbing the rock face and jumping off from there. It should be obvious to everyone, but I'll say it, never jump off a rock or boulder jump without checking the depth. The cave at the back of the beach facing the fall was really unique. At some point, Brian saw there was a chain up the rock face of this waterfall, and I decided, let's do it. Two things I want to let you know. Gloves made it super easy, and grippy hiking shoes that are made for this. As I climbed up the rock face, Brian had sat down and realized his shoes were too slippery, and without gloves, the chain was just too hard on his hands. So consider that if you plan on climbing this. It is dangerous. I thought Brian was very wise and didn't risk it. There's no point. I'd rather have him safe and here for the next time. This last stretch of the rock face climb was a little sketchy, very vertical or straight up, and I'd really pay attention here. Once at the top, the views were actually really breathtaking. There's a wonderful deep pool that this waterfall gets its source from. Quite epic. I kept wanting to go in it, but it was just too steep. I thought, if I get stuck there, who's going to rescue me? It did have a chain and a rope, but it just seemed too dangerous. I decided to pass. Once I jumped out that fall and made that climb, oh, I felt good. It was time to just rest and have a playful time. We pulled out the surfboard again, Heidi and I, and just floated, relaxed, and enjoyed ourselves. So I didn't forget to tell you what was in this creek. I said we weren't alone here. Well, the truth be told, it's full of leeches. Can you believe it? They hang around the shallow areas in the moss and on the rocks. I'm going to show you a close-up. Is that disgusting? Well, I will say we got a few on us. None of them sucked our blood, and they just sloughed right off. They're not thick. They're very thin and narrow. Heidi read on the internet there's two things they hate: eucalyptus and any kind of menthol. You can put that on as a deterrent, but really they were no harm. We both really enjoyed this hike, to say the least. Man, what an epic canyon, what an epic place. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you where we were. Well, it's in the Angeles Forest. They call it Castaic Falls. What an epic 5-star hike. I recommend it if you can bear with the leeches, the river rats, the frogs, and a few insects. Other than that, it's paradise. Remember, until your next adventure hike, explore nature with us, one bite at a time. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.